Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into just one single source, but it's incredibly chilling. It's a transcript from this short horror story video. Wrong exit short horror story with a terrifying twist. It's from the YouTube channel Damion Noctum. Our mission really is to unpack the psychology and, well, the supernatural stuff woven into this story. We want to explore how the author builds that creeping dread, and figure out what makes this specific wrong exit feel so uniquely terrifying for you listening.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, how the story just grabs onto these very human vulnerabilities, things like being exhausted on a long trip, that desperate need for just a break, for coffee maybe, and then it just twists them meticulously into this descent. It's a harrowing slide into this kind of existential horror.
That's a great way to put it. Sets the stage perfectly. So let's unpack that initial setup because the narrator really paints a picture, doesn't he? It feels almost suffocating. He's driving this old four and he says, "Bless its rusted heart," which tells you something right there. Driving through this like endless white void, a middle American winter night, just snow everywhere.
Total whiteout conditions, basically.
Exactly. And we find out he's been on the road for 15 hours. 15. And it's 2:1 scene AM. He's clearly pushing way too hard. You can almost feel that gritty exhaustion in your own eyes just reading it.
And it's not just physical exhaustion, is it? The story, like right away, gives us this glimpse into his emotional baggage. His past is described as, what was it? Stained like spilled ink on an old ledger. Events, choices, things you can't scrub off. It's heavy stuff.
Really heavy.
And he's actively putting distance between then and now. So this drive, it's not just getting from A to B. It feels like an escape, an urgent one. That vulnerability, that psychological weight, just sets the stage perfectly for what's coming, makes him maybe more susceptible, perhaps.
That's such a crucial point. It's not just some random tired guy. He's already on edge carrying all this stuff. And then there's this internal conflict he mentions, this eccentricity. He says it's a result of seeing too much too close up for too long. Which sounds pretty intense. And this part of him, this kind of morbid curiosity maybe, seems to be fighting his common sense. The basic instinct that just wants to keep him alive. How does that push and pull amplify things later?
Well, it creates this unreliable lens, you could say.
Yeah.
His eccentricity makes him notice things, maybe things others would just ignore or explain away. But his common sense is screaming, "Danger, get out." He's walking this tightrope in his own mind. Is this real? Is it the exhaustion? Is it the past trauma? So when he finally does accept what's happening, it hits harder because he had to fight his own skepticism to get there.
Right. So we've got this exhausted driver, haunted by his past, fighting with himself in the dead of night. He's already sort of primed for something else. And then the decision, the fork in the road, literally. He's exhausted, dreaming of a diner, coffee. His plan was exit 18. But he sees exit 17, local access. And he thinks, just one exit early. No harm in that. It's such a small thing, so relatable.
Exactly. It's the everyday nature of the mistake that makes it so effective.
Yeah.
And that's when the story really starts playing with this idea of liminal spaces, thresholds. The exit ramp itself, he says, it was narrower. It wasn't plowed well. The snowbanks piled up like forgotten walls.
Forgotten walls, yeah, creepy.
And the air didn't just get cold. It got unnatural cold, the kind that sinks into your bones and whispers things about forever. So this isn't just an off-ramp anymore. It's like a portal almost, a transition point where the normal rules just bend or break.
Yeah, you can feel that wrongness immediately. It's palpable. And then the payoff, or lack thereof. Bottom of the ramp, no intersection like you'd expect. Instead, the road simply continued unmarked, meandering into a thicket of skeletal trees. No signs, nothing familiar, just asphalt swallowed by snow and shadows. It's like the map just ended. And as he keeps going, the isolation just gets deeper, more intense. The road starts winding, snow's getting heavier, deeper, and the trees, they press in closer. Their branches are like grasping fingers, but they're not just bare trees, are they? He says they looked wrong, twisted into impossible shapes, some even almost human-like.
That's where it gets really uncanny, isn't it? Taking something familiar like trees and just twisting it slightly. It's not overtly monstrous yet, but it's deeply unsettling because it's almost familiar, but fundamentally wrong. And then there's the silence that really ramps up the feeling of being totally alone, totally vulnerable.
The silence.
The wind he mentioned earlier, it just died completely. No sound, but the crunch of my tires on the snow and the labored breathing of the engine. He calls it too quiet. Like the world is holding its breath, waiting. That silence, that auditory void, it makes everything feel louder somehow, more intense, his own breathing, the car engine. It's all stark.
And something is waiting. That silence gets broken eventually by a faint light ahead. It leads him to this little clearing, and there's a building, looks like maybe a house or maybe an old general store, but it's completely derelict, utterly desolate, paint peeling, dark, gaping windows. Moss and snowdrifts hug the walls like hungry ghosts. That's quite an image.
Hungry ghosts, yeah.
The only light is from an old gas lantern on the porch, and that's where he sees it. The figure, standing on the porch, silhouetted against the light, just standing there, tall, stick-thin, bundled in an old tattered coat. And the key thing, it wasn't moving, just standing there, facing the road, facing me. That stillness is unnerving.
Deeply unnerving. But it gets worse, right? When he hits it with the high beams, that's the reveal. The figure didn't have a face. It just smoothed into the darkness under the coat's hood like a featureless void. A void.
Chilling.
And its hands, too long, fingers bending at impossible angles. And the posture, it's leaning slightly tilted, as if the building itself is holding it up, or like it was a marionette, strings held by something behind the door. This isn't just creepy. It's stepping into like cosmic horror territory. It defies biology, defies explanation. It's the unknown made visible.
And just as you're trying to process that, the sensory horror kicks in again, but auditory this time. A low hum started in the car, not the engine. Something else. A vibration that resonated in my teeth and echoed in my empty stomach. Ugh. And it sounded like 1,000 starving voices whispering just below the threshold of hearing. That's visceral.
It is. It suggests something vast, unseen, maybe malevolent surrounding him. And that's the moment of awful clarity for the narrator, isn't it? His mind, usually cluttered, cynical, suddenly becomes starkly, terrifyingly clear. He knows this wasn't human, this wasn't natural, that wrong exit, it had led me off the map of reality. And that raises the question, doesn't it, for him, for you listening. When does fear tip over into something truly existential? When does reality itself break down?
It's a total breakdown. And the thing on the porch isn't passive anymore. It acts. Slowly, deliberately, it raised one of those impossibly long, jointless arms and pointed a bent finger directly at my car. Like a purse or a summons. The humming gets louder, the lantern glows brighter, hungrier somehow. The air shimmers. It feels ritualistic.
A clear, deliberate threat. And just when you think, okay, that's the peak, something else comes out. From the darkness of the doorway behind the figure, another shape emerged. This one's lower, wider. It scraped against the wood as it moved with this awful, jerky, insect-like gait. Like it's just layering horror upon horror. It's a full nightmare tableau now. Not just one thing, but more.
And that's it. That's the breaking point. He says his shady past had prepared me for human monsters, but not for this. I mean, who would be? He slams the car into reverse, yanks the wheel, and as he turns, the high beams sweep across the clearing one last time, illuminating the horrors gathered on the porch, plural now, horrors. And then, maybe the most chilling bit for me, he catches a split-second glimpse inside the house. Reflections that weren't mine, faces pressed against the glass.
Oh, man. Yeah, that detail suggests the whole place is infested. Aware, it's not just the porch figures. The house itself is watching. And the escape isn't clean, is it? As he floors it, speeds away. The terror follows. That humming sound followed me. He wasn't fading. It was getting louder. A rising chorus of whispers from the dark behind him. The threat isn't just visual anymore. It's auditory, inescapable. It's burrowing into his mind.
Absolutely. And his final thoughts are just bleak. He realizes the sound promises something awful. I hadn't just taken the wrong exit I had been led in. That sense of inevitability of being chosen, and whatever stood on that porch, whatever lurked in that house, knew I was running. He feels like running wouldn't be enough. The darkness in the rearview mirror, it feels like it's getting closer. And the whispers, they're calling the transcript just cuts off there, leaving you with that awful feeling. So, wrapping this up, it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What if the really scary exits aren't the ones you choose by mistake? What if the real horror is finding an exit that feels like it was, I don't know, waiting for you? Tailor-made for your specific fears and vulnerabilities.
That's a deeply unsettling thought and really poses a question for you listening at home to think about. When does a simple mistake, like taking the wrong turn, stop being just a mistake? At what point do you cross a line, maybe without even realizing it, and find yourself caught in something else entirely, something beyond understanding?